to this week's episode of Harry's Practice. I'm Dr. Katrina Warren, and this week's episode will be focusing on the nutritional requirements of horses, as well as the consequences of what happens when these needs aren't met, and how to formulate a balanced diet for horses.
I'm here in the beautiful Terry Hills, ready to make a house call to a worried horse owner whose pony has a bit of a weight problem. Let's see if she's home. Hello, it's Dr. Harry here.
Oh my goodness.
I hear you might have a pony that needs my help.
Oh yes, I do. Well, this is Truffles. He's a 9-year-old Shetland gelding, and we're having a bit of trouble with his weight at the moment.
I can see. Well, let's start with what he gets fed.
He gets fed a biscuit of lucent hay in the morning and evening, except when he gets into the feed room sometimes.
So is he kept in the stables at all?
No, he's allowed out during the night and day.
So he's got continuous graze of the property?
Yeah, he does.
Well, that's good that he's got so much roughage in his diet and continuous grazing. So do you know how much Truffles weighs here?
No, I don't.
Well, here's a quick and easy way with a height weight measuring tape. So we just got to wrap it around here, around his girth, and we just thread it through and pull it to the appropriate weight. So we can see here that Truffles weighs approximately 221 kilos.
Horses are specialist herbivores whose digestive system has adapted to grazing small amounts of the same kind of roughage all day long. They have a monogastric digestive system and a hindgut fermenters. The upper gut is made of the stomach and small intestines, and this is where most of the protein, fat, vitamins and minerals of the feed are digested and absorbed. The hindgut consists of the large intestines, and horses have a greatly enlarged cecum, which acts as a fermentation vat. Bacteria and protozoa produce enzymes which break down the plant fibre, enabling the horse to utilise cellulose and other fermentable substrates.
Go very far to find the adequate nutrients that he needs.
No.
And this lush green grass, well, I can tell you it's a hell of a lot better than what he would get in the wild. But you have to remember, Truffles here, he's a Shetland pony, and he doesn't need as much nutrients as a full-grown horse. And you got to consider that Shetland ponies, they've evolved to deal with harsher living environments.
Welcome to my feed lab, where we can conduct a thorough analysis of Truffles' diet.
Thank you very much.
That's right. Now, did you know that on average ponies should eat approximately 1 kilo of roughage for every 100 kilos of body weight?
Okay, so if Truffles weighs 220 kilos, he should be getting about 2.2 kilos of roughage per day.
Exactly. However, calculating the amount of grass that Truffles is grazing can be a bit difficult. So this is when we use programs such as Feed Excel here, which is available on the internet. It allows you to enter Truffles' breed, age, weight, body condition and level activity, as well as any relevant diseases he might be suspected. So, say Truffles currently eats 2 biscuits of lucerne hay every day, as well as constant grazing on good C4 type grass. Now, do you know how much this weighs?
Probably more than 2.2 kilos.
Yes, indeed. He's actually currently getting 5.88 kilos of roughage every day. This means his total forage intake is 266% of his recommended dietary intake, and his digestible energy intake is 184% of his RDI. According to the nutrient requirement of horses, Truffles is recommended to only get 27.2 megajoules of digestible energy every day, and a crude protein requirement of only 321 grams. He's currently consuming 942 grams of protein. Overfeeding energy will cause him to become overweight and may lead to health and soundness problems. To reduce energy intake, you might consider restricting his grazing by either keeping him in a smaller paddock or stabling him apart.
This nutrient graph for Truffles' current diet shows his digestible energy levels are not within the recommended limits. If you were to simply limit the amount of grazing hours and replace the lucerne hay with a grassy meadow hay, the digestible energy becomes an acceptable 103% of the recommended dietary intake. However, Truffles would then become deficient in many of the important vitamins and minerals. This could easily be fixed by providing him with a salt lick that contains adequate vitamins and minerals.
In the case of Truffles, I recommend that you start supplementing his diet with a bit more roughage according to his weight, which is what we worked out earlier, and also a bit more exercise to shed a few of these excess pounds. But the setup that you've got here with his continuous grazing is really good. It's what he's designed for. But just remember, too much of a good thing, not so good.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Harry. You've helped a lot.
No problem. It's what I'm here for. I'll leave you to it.
Hello and welcome to Better Produce, one of the best horse feed suppliers in Sydney. As you can see, there's a large range of premixed feeds, grains and roughages, which makes making your choices for your horse nutrition a little bit overwhelming. That's why we have Jake here with his top tips for horse feed.
Okay, thanks Katrina. My first hot tip is to know your horse's nutritional requirements. My second hot tip is to choose a feed regime that's suitable to your horse's nutritional requirements. My third hot tip is to feed by weight, not volume.
So we know that horses have evolved to eat small constant amounts of grass, but in today's society it's not always possible for them to do so. Therefore we supplement their diets with roughage such in the form of hay and shaft. But what about high performance energy horses? They usually get their additional energy requirements through supplements such as grain and pellets. But you don't often think about the vitamins and mineral supplementation. Your second house call of the day to a horse owner who wants to know if her horse is getting the right vitamins and minerals it requires. Let's go meet her now. Hi there, Dr. Harry.
Nice to meet you.
How can I help you?
I'm not quite sure what I should be feeding my horse here.
Alrighty, let's start off with the obvious one, with the pasture. Do you know what kind of pasture this is?
Looks like grass to me.
Well, I can tell you, this stuff right here is kikuyu. It's a very common grass in the Sydney area, but you have to be really careful about it because it has high levels of oxalate acid in it, which can lead to poor little Romeo here having problems such as calcium deficiencies and oxalate poisoning.
Oh no, that's heaps bad. What can I do about that?
Well, if we just pop on over here, I can show you how we can fix this problem.
Sounds good.
Kikuyu grass has a calcium to oxalate ratio of 0.23 to 1. Oxalic acid binds up the calcium by forming crystals of calcium oxalate. This reduces the amount of calcium available in the plant, and the horses are completely unable to digest any of the calcium associated with calcium oxalate crystals. Furthermore, the oxalates are rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream and bind up calcium in the blood, causing calcium deficiencies as well as oxalate poisoning.
So it's important for Romeo here, because he's on the kikuyu grass, to have these supplements in his diet. So we have 1/3 ground lime and 2/3 dicalcium phosphate.
Okay, and I'm recording now.
Welcome back to my feed lab. Now, I understand you're having difficulties balancing the vitamins and minerals in your horse's diet.
I am, yeah. My horse is called Romeo. He's a 5-year-old Palomino stock horse. He's kept in a stable at night and he's on grass during the day. He's got a moderate body condition score, but I'd like to bulk him up with a bit more muscle. But he's prone to tying up, so I need a feed that will address that problem.
Tying up, or polysaccharide storage myopathy, is characterized by painful muscle contractions and stiffness following exercise. It is triggered by high levels of starch and sugars in the diet. 3.
I recommend that you avoid grains and forages which are high in sugar and begin supplementing with magnesium, selenium and vitamin E, such as this. Now, I've developed a ration here that should work for Romeo because he's a Palomino.
That's strange. I didn't know that colour made a difference when it came to feeds.
Yes, well actually, Palominos are quite unique in their requirements.
Really?
A common problem in Palominos is smutting, which is when they develop dark patches and flecks over their coat. This is a result of incorrect levels of certain nutrients. Palomino horses must not be fed a diet which is high in protein and oils, and feeds to avoid include molasses, copra, sunflower seeds, livermole, linseed, and generally any feeds that are dark in colour. Unfortunately, most premixed feeds and mineral blocks contain molasses, so they must be avoided. Only cereal-based hay, chaff and grains are safe to feed. However, these feeds have low and inadequate levels of important nutrients.
As Romeo here is a Palomino, I've designed this mixed ration diet for him, which will have a balance of everything that he needs. So we've got some barley here, corn, soybean meal, a mixed chaff, and a vitamin and mineral mix.
As you can see, Feed Excel has estimated his pasture intake to be 4.66 kilograms per day. The feed chosen includes ConcuCell Provide, which is a vitamin and mineral premix, as well as an iodized salt lick to ensure he meets his sodium and iodine requirements. The ration desired meets all of Romeo's nutritional requirements. Romeo requires 93.5 megajoules of digestible energy daily and 894 grams of crude protein. This ration ensures that he is getting exactly 100% of his total recommended feed intake with a perfect 2-to-1 calcium to phosphorus ratio.
Welcome to Horseland. How can I help you?
Oh, we just need the supplement section, thank you.
Certainly, it's just this way.
There are so many different vitamins and minerals to choose from. How do I know which one my horse needs?
You have to be really careful that you don't over-supplement, because that can be just as dangerous as not giving supplements. Say with selenium, you want to make sure that you don't overfeed this, because it could be toxic to them. So most of the vitamins are if they're deficient in it. So every horse, John Conkey would suggest that you feed the Cell Vital, which has got all your vitamins and minerals in it, and your daily dosage supplement is on the back, so as not to overdose.
Thank you so much for all your advice. It's been so helpful. I think I'm on the right track now. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's what I'm here for. Thank you. That's all right. I'll leave you guys to it now. Well, that's all we've got time for this week.
Hope you've enjoyed the show. Join us again next week.
Helping us out if there's a pet with a problem. He'll sort